What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. We are out at the pitch with the Diadora Brasil Elite Veloce IPX ITA LPX. I think that's the full name. Crazy name, but these are pretty promising, I think, from the Italian brand. A little bit of heritage, a little bit of high tech. Let's get into it. All right, first things first, getting the boots on now. These follow a very similar construction to a lot of boots on the market, and that is a K-leather forefoot, this one being a little bit stiffer and a little bit more kind of robust straight out of the box, a really thin synthetic midfoot, which of course is a mainstay feature in things like the 99-gram leather boots, the DS Lite X Fly series, both the Pro 2 and the 5. You've got the Morelia Neo and Neo 4 and Neo 4 Beta series. A lot of them take inspiration from this style of boot, which is leather in the forefoot, synthetic in the midfoot, and then basically their kind of quote-unquote speed boot sole plate. So these, from a fit perspective straight out of the box, are actually quite comfortable. I really like how plush and comfortable this forefoot feels. The midfoot actually stretches quite a bit, although the one thing I will say straight away is that the stiffness of this synthetic in the midfoot is pretty aggressive from the standpoint of like it sort of, if you can hear that, like, I know that's really quiet, unfortunately, compared to where the microphone is, but yeah, it's a little bit stiff for my liking, this midfoot. I'm hopeful that the boots soften up a little bit as we start playing in them. This foot is having a little bit of trouble getting inside. There we go. Awesome. And one thing as well is a nice deep lacing system with plenty of lace holes as well. I feel like a lot of times you get boots that have only like 2 or 3 above kind of this end piece. And so these ones having multiple lace loops and lace holes all the way up means that you're going to get a pretty good customizable fit throughout this break-in process, which is awesome. So heel feels good already. This is probably pretty much what I said in the unboxing video of these, but I wanted to get these obviously out on pitch so that we can get a playtest in them. But there you go. That's what they look like. I think they're a decent design. I am a big fan of the Diadora logo. I think it actually looks really great on the side of these boots. I think it makes it look kind of iconic like some of the older Diadora designs, while you also have some of the, you know, the nice thin heel area, which wraps my Achilles super well. The suede is like really subtle, so it's like a micro suede material back here, which is really nice, and that just gives it a super locked in fit and feel. And then the sole plate, which we'll talk about just in a sec when we go through, start doing some ladder work. Mostly conical studs or teardrop studs, which is super nice. Gives it a really neutral feel underfoot with quite a decent amount of pivot power even on artificial grass. So let's get into some of the warm-up. All right, first things first, going through the ladder work just to get a little bit warm and ready to go. Just trying to see what the responsiveness and the feeling underfoot of the sole plate is. It does feel really nice already. Good amount of responsiveness, which is nice. Not the most springy out of all the sole plates, but it's got quite a nice underfoot feel, which I absolutely love. So first impressions already really good. Now we'll get a little bit of lateral movement in with that icky shuffle, trying to kind of test that midfoot, because one of the benefits of this design is ideally you get the softness and the plushness of the leather while also getting the benefit of a synthetic midfoot that when I come in and out of, or I guess this way, in and out, and I'm cutting directions or I'm doing some sort of like little move, especially with the ball, the idea is that you get that really nice plush touch on the ball. So every kind of, you know, forefoot manipulating the ball with that leather, but then the responsiveness you get from that mesh-based synthetic midfoot is really good. And the idea is that it really holds you in place while giving you that kind of heritage feel. Last one here, we'll just go in and out with one foot all the way there and all the way back. So really quick feet, do my best to, very good. Yeah, man, these are feeling really locked in. At least without kind of touching the ball and manipulating the ball. Super nice already, super nice already. Feels good. These are, I believe, a US 8.5. So keep in mind, these are a half a size down and the length is perfect. The 9 was too big for me and I tried on both of them in store. So make sure you go half a size down if you're gonna get a pair of these. Definitely would recommend. All right, into this little zigzag pattern. So obviously you got 6 cones and I'm just gonna go up kind of zigzag all the way down and around through this one and then zigzag back that way, finish back at this cone. This is a great drill for midfielders and stuff, just tight, close control, wingers, I guess, as well. But we're really gonna test what that lateral stability is like, as well as kind of first impressions of what the touch feels like. Like obviously I can sit here and, you know, juggle the ball really nice and padded. That's a good thing. So really nice padded sensation in that forefoot, which is lovely. That's what I want from a boot like this. Is it gonna be my favorite? Let's kind of answer that question as we go throughout the video, but so far, really good. I'm gonna switch feet here on the outside foot. Yes, lovely, and turn and finish. Yeah, nice. Really good so far. I'm gonna put the camera on the ground and I wanna show you kind of one little minute hotspot area. Okay, so because this boot has quite an aggressive corner, like that's, I don't wanna say sharp, but that's like a, you know, there's no forgiveness right here. This is obviously quite padded and quite nice, but this little section from there to there, it's about an inch on that side and about an inch here, although because of the tongue, this doesn't affect me at all. But this area right there is a little bit annoying. It's digging in right here already, right here. That was a weird way. But the idea is that this shouldn't give you any blisters, ideally. I'm hopeful of that. But that's kind of the one area that I think is going to be a little bit problematic. Now, if I were to kind of shift this all the way over, then maybe it would help. But the problem is that, as you can see with the lacing system area, there isn't any holes in the tongue, which means the tongue can free flow flip side to side, which, to be honest, I think is a bit of an oversight from the Diadora brand, because I think with a boot like this, you want the most locked in sensation. And that is that's really important, to have a tongue that stays right there, because then it's solid. There's no issues and there's no kind of flipping back and forth. But the fact that I can move it like this is a little bit of a yellow flag for me. It's not be all end all, but it is something that I'm going to be cautious of as we keep moving through the playtest. Here we go. There. Nice. And we'll get all the way through, and then we're going to go all the way back the other way as well. Nice. Yeah. Honestly, heel, they've nailed the heel area. Heel area feels awesome. It's just that one part right on the instep, right there and right there, that are digging in a little bit, but let's keep going and see how we go with that area. All right, next little bit here. A little bit of a different skill, so just getting a little bit of a different stimulus. Oy. Hello. Lovely. Here we go. Through. Nice. Yeah, feeling good, man. These are nice. Beautiful. All right, back into passing. All right, a little bit of a passing pattern against the wall. Really, the idea is to get a good sense of what that separation between the leather and the synthetic is like. So the leather being a little bit more on the padded side, and then this synthetic is really thin. So I'm getting a really nice touch on the instep here as I'm passing the ball against the wall. The 99-gram leather boot had sort of this issue as well, where you have a really nice thin synthetic, but the leather is quite a bit more padded. And so that creates kind of a weird separation between it, between the two materials. Doesn't make it feel as kind of, I don't know, one piece or holistic, as you might say. So let's kind of see as we go through this pattern and see how we go. Back the other way. Ooh, touch. Nice. Nice. Yeah, honestly, not a lot of complaints. Yes, it's a little bit, it's a little bit annoying, just because it's one of those uppers that splits a little bit too much. But as I'm coming around the corner and doing one of these, I'm not getting too much of an issue. I think the issue is really gonna come when I start to try and bend the ball and get any sort of whip and curve around it. All right, same idea here. Again, just getting, now going the same side, touch, play, yep. Let's go one more pass there. Nice, up the middle, beautiful, touch, play, play. Nice. Honestly, not a whole lot of complaints. I am getting a little bit of slippage on the outside of my feet. So that's something to think about, is really when I'm pivoting, heel is starting to slip a little bit. It's comfortable, no problems, but as I'm rotating this way, and the crazy part is the tongue has completely shifted over to one side, which is probably affecting the way that the boots feel. And that's just, it's such an easy one. Like, just make 2 slits in the tongue so that the tongue doesn't slide back and forth. Like, that's such a simple thing. Let's get into some shooting. All right, unfortunately, there is a group that is coming onto the field right now. So hopefully I can get a couple of these shooting drills off to show you guys what the striking surface is like and what it feels like, but let's just hop straight into it. Nice, decent. Especially when you strike the ball with that kind of padded leather area, that's when you really, really get the nice, plush, soft feeling. Ooh, unlucky. Yeah, it feels good to strike with. Similar to the 99 gram leather boots, the striking straight on actually doesn't bother me that much. It's the bend shot. So like this, yeah, it kind of lacks a little bit of feel, which is a little bit unfortunate. Let's go one more here, and then we'll swap to the other side. Lovely. Okay, let's grab the other side, and we'll and get some free kicks going. But yeah, hey, striking straight on actually feels really nice, like getting up and over. Anytime I'm trying to whip the ball, it's a little disconnected, and that change between the midfoot and the forefoot, I don't know. All right, here we go, other side. Now we'll get a real sense of what that bending is like, because I tend to like to do the more bended shot with my left foot. Yeah, I don't know, if I point my toe down and really get wrapped around it, it feels fine. But again, like when I pick a pair of football boots, I don't want to have to think about that type of stuff of like, oh, I'm going to change my striking technique because of the boots. Whereas I feel like with more seamless boots, like that's a nice shot, but it's also one of those things that, like, I don't know. I don't want to have to think about my shooting technique just because I throw on this pair of Diadoras, despite them actually performing pretty dang well. Very impressed with how they, yeah. Again, they perform really well. It's just the little details of the tongue, little bit of slippage in the heel area. Maybe that could be fixed with some break-in time, or a pair of grip socks. But you know, that issue, and then really it's the change between the leather and the synthetic in the midfoot. What I am actually really curious about is getting a pair of 8.5 US's in the regular Brazil, like the classic Brazil. That I think would be really, really good. So maybe I'll try to get in some stuff, but let's get crossbar challenge and free kicks. Awesome, you know what it is. Crossbar challenge, 1 each foot. I'm gonna start left foot this time. I feel like in the past couple of videos I've gone right foot just cause, but I'm gonna go left foot first. We're just trying to hit the crossbar. Here we go. Yep. Ooh, dang. All right, next one, here we go. Ooh, a little high. All right, free kick time. All right, we're gonna have to roll through this really quick because there's a team coming. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna film all the B-roll over on the natural grass field, which will be sick. So here we go. Yeah, striking free kicks isn't too bad, to be honest. I don't mind that. Especially because you have your toe pointed down and it really gives like a nice striking surface. All right, last one, pretty good. Again, I'm looking for a little bit more curve. I'm gonna try not to hit the absolute piss out of it. We're just gonna bend it up and over the wall, one step up, So free kicks, no problem. It feels like a good striking surface for me. Here we go. Ay, ay, ay. All right, let's go right foot. All right, right foot, here we go. Same idea, one step up, get it nice and bended up and over the wall. Oof, unlucky. Yeah, decent. Again, I'm still a little bit bugged by the difference between the forefoot and the midfoot, and the tongue moving around is not helping at all, so that's a bummer. But the overall, the fit and the comfort in this 8.5 is actually really, really nice, so no complaints there. All right, last free kick, and then we'll get into final thoughts over on the grass field once I've had a chance to film the B-roll over there. All right, so as you can see behind me, this is a firm ground field. Absolutely sensational. So final thoughts on the Diadora playtest. Now, I think most boots are gonna perform pretty excellently well on an FG surface. That's just the way FG works. AG is like not a natural surface, obviously, and so yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like the worst qualities of football boots are exposed on AG, which isn't a bad thing, but it's also like, I don't know, wear your boots wherever you can, but God, if you can play on FG, play on FG. It's so much better. It feels so much better on your joints and like all that stuff. Okay, let's go through really quick, like kind of ratings of sort of final thoughts on everything. Sole plate, really enjoy the sole plate. It's a lot flatter than that X 99 gram 99 point speed portal whatever dealio that had the carbon plate that was basically like this, and so this sole plate is a lot flatter, which I really, really like. Studs feel good. There's a really decent amount of snapback. It's got good kind of feel underfoot as well, and these studs are great for FG and AG, no problem at all. Heel area started to feel pretty good as the session went on. I found there to be a little bit of slippage through the heel area, but that's because this right here is the problem area. So this is the instep where I showed you guys before, like the up close and personal camera. This part right here was still kind of digging into the inside of my ankle a little bit, which was annoying. And then the tongue is all over the place. Like it is moving like here and then over to the other side, and it's really wonky and really not that great. Laces, totally fine. Lace position, totally fine. So I would say biggest complaints about these boots is really this area right here, and then the transition between the leather and the synthetic. I'm still not like 100% of a fan of this type of boot. I prefer boots like the Mizuno lineup or the Asics lineup or Asics lineup that have a much smoother transition. They have thinner leather and a slightly thicker material here, which I'm okay with that trade-off, so long as this stays really, really kind of smooth and nice. Now, the lateral side performed totally well. I thought lockdown was actually pretty good in these. Again, this area right here really affected the boot, so that it affected it in a negative way, enough so that I had slippage in the heel area, and then it was just not locked in the way that I wanted it to, which is a really big bummer, unfortunately. That being said, these are very comfortable. So if that's something you're looking for, if you're looking for something that's gonna be a little bit different, something that not everybody's gonna have, this is definitely, I think, a good option for a lot of people. I found I didn't have to take them off during the session once, which is obviously great. With a synthetic midfoot, I often have to take the boots off because this area right here is just totally too narrow or whatever, or it takes more to break in. That was not the case with these ones. So props to Diadora for making a really nice, easily break-inable type football boot, despite there being some things that I just think were kind of simple oversights. Like you could have just put two little holes in here to make them, to make the tongue stay in place, and then this seam right here needs to be less sharp because that digs into the ankle a little bit. But that's kind of going to be it for my initial thoughts of the playtest of the Diadora Elite Veloce ITA LPX. It's a long name. Decent football boot for sure, but not in this category of boot that's got leather forefoot, synthetic midfoot. These don't really, even though there's a lot of good things that I like about them and a lot of things that I wish were actually on some of the other boots in the category, I don't know if I can recommend these quite yet. I'm gonna keep breaking them in, keep working with them. I might actually cut my own holes in the tongue just because I think it would just help the boots so much, and I think the lockdown would be instantly changed if the tongue were to stay in place. But yeah, that's gonna be it. If you guys like this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want a 20% off coupon for WeFoot grip socks, which are my favorite grip socks, I've got them on all right there on right now, and I wear them for literally every training session. I can't go without them. Link down below in the description, or use code NOAH20 for 20% off your order. As always, be awesome, take care. I'll see y'all in the next video.